Greetings, captains. Imagine a small archipelago in the Indian Ocean. It's a place where both trade routes and the strategic interests of great empires meet. In today's episode of Map Tactics, we'll talk about Trident, a map for Tier 5 to Tier 8 ships. Trident received its name because of the curious layout of its islands, which resembles the weapon of Poseidon, the ancient Greek god of the sea. If we divide the map in two horizontally, it will be almost symmetrical, but if we draw a vertical line through the middle, the map halves will differ significantly. It's obvious that the small islands scattered here, with the distance between them varying from 1 to 5 kilometers, drastically increase the importance of destroyers with short-range torpedoes and cruisers with quick guns. However, this theater of war has room for sluggish battleships and annoying aviation as well. Let's start with the hasty ones, the destroyers. They feel quite at home in the Trident's teeth, maneuvering between the islands and delivering sudden torpedo attacks. It's more advantageous to stay close to the tooth on the enemy's half of the map and spam everyone with torpedoes from there. However, it might be difficult to make your way here without support, so make sure Allied ships are nearby before undertaking this maneuver. The presence of friendly cruisers and fire support from battleships are also welcome in this area. Remember that your main objective in this sector is to not only capture it, but also fight through to the enemy base. However, if all destroyers amass in this coveted triangle, your team will lose its spotting capability on the opposite flank, and this will lead to unpleasant surprises. Battleships, who are never in a rush because they aren't able to, should pay close attention to the opposite flank. It has open water areas, but remember to stay clear of the islands forming the Trident's shaft. A smart destroyer might hide there and wait for you. It's important that battleships don't miss the moment when their allies break through near the Trident's teeth and support it. They should follow lighter ships while keeping the map's center under control. On Trident, cruisers are not only tasked with assisting destroyers in the triangle, but they should also protect battleships from enemy aircraft and destroyers. The outcome of a battle may depend on it. As for an attack through the map's center, this is quite a risky tactic on Trident 2, especially at the beginning of a battle. However, in the second half of a game, a breakthrough along lines 5 to 6 can be decisive, so don't forget to keep an eye on this area. It's more convenient from the right flank. The favorite locations of aircraft carriers on this map are behind the islands at B5 and I6. They provide pretty reliable cover, but they're a bit far from the fight. Now let's talk about the tactics for the Domination and Epicenter modes on Trident. In the first mode, all 3 control points are located in such a way that a ship doesn't have reliable cover when capturing them. For this reason, capturing point A, for example, is no easy task, but it can be accomplished with support from allies. A smoke screen stretched across the area is a good option in this situation. It will allow your team to begin capturing while staying concealed. Remember though, smoke can't save you forever, especially if you stay in one place for a long time. The initial quick capturing of point C should also be entrusted to destroyers or fast cruisers. It's a large area of open water, which means a high probability of encountering battleships. It's important to capture the point before their arrival, and then either hide in smoke and wait for reinforcements, or retreat. The most challenging task in the Domination mode is capturing and retaining Point B. The reason for this is that Point B is partially exposed to fire from control points A and C. You can attempt to capture it on a destroyer, but if the situation becomes too heated, it's better to retreat and return later. That's why the most efficient way to proceed in the Domination mode is to consecutively capture points A, B, C, or CBA. Conversely, the easiest tactic in the Epicenter mode is to capture the center and try to hold it. Just like in other modes, destroyers will engage the enemy first due to their excellent speed. It's important to stay calm because those who remain afloat after the initial torpedo strikes will begin to actively spot the enemy team, and that's when your ally should keep their eyes peeled. Don't forget that the inner circle in the Epicenter game mode is quite large. This area has 3 islands to provide cover from enemy fire, so don't be shy and use them to your advantage. A second possible strategy for the Epicenter mode is to save your ships and try to surround the base. The difficult part is accurately marking the targets and quickly destroying them with concentrated fire from your entire team. If you decide to implement this strategy, at least one of your allied destroyers must remain in the center to provide spotting. This approach requires highly coordinated team play, but if you manage to do it properly, it will allow you to win with minimal losses. Let's summarize. The Trident map is undoubtedly quite an interesting battlefield that calls for different tactics depending on the team roster and game mode. A decision about a risky breakthrough or enveloping maneuver should be made after analyzing the battle situation. This map won't let you relax even for a minute, because an adversary can pop up from behind any of the multiple islands. In addition, it's very beautiful, as it's the first map in World of Warships where we've implemented the day and night cycle. That's all for today. Good luck in battle. Until next time, Captains.